All right, thank you and welcome this evening. I move to adopt the agenda for the August 14th, 2024 board meeting with the following addendum to item J, policy matters. The district policies listed in your updated agenda have been added for first reading due to Title IX changes that affect the 2024-25 school year. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the changes?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Motion passes. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items as listed?
So moved.
A second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Do we have any recognition tonight? Okay, recognition, superintendent comments.
Sure. Tony Clark, come on up. So we have Tony Clark with us, principal of Bonnie Lake High School. Tony is going to introduce one of our new administrators. But before you do that, tell us two great things that's happening at Bonnie Lake High School, or that happened maybe even over the summer. Just two.
Just two?
Just two.
Okay. that's
Not
kinda hard to
three.
choose.
Just two.
I have me on the spot. Okay. So
Well,
two
what
great
happens
things.
to be like a big, kind of a big thing, right?
What's that?
At the thing this summer.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we got to go all the way
Yeah,
to Orlando, and we got our students were recognized. They won a platinum award for school distinction through Jocelyn's Renaissance for all the leadership work
Yep.
we're doing there, which if you don't know, it's like super big deal to get that award. It's a ton of work. And our students have been working at it for several years, and we finally got there. And so we got to get up on stage, and we had students on and student panels, and they're like little celebrities walking around Orlando. Is really cool. So that's one really major thing I definitely want to highlight for our kids. The other ones,
Yeah,
we hired Molly Klimko.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Molly is coming to us as an assistant principal from White River School District. She's been assistant principal for 5 years at White River High School, and then has been in Tosa for a while after that. She's already kind of shaping us up, so we're all put. We're great now. Then I'm just kidding. But Molly's here. She's going to super help us out, and she has a lot of special ed background, a lot of background with ASB and behavior, and just brings a ton of wealth of knowledge, and I'm already learning a ton from her, and we're just blessed to have her. So this is Molly.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Molly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did she say something?
She can, if she'd like.
Didn't need to. Okay, I told her not to, I didn't give her a heads up, so I was gonna make her do it. But yeah, anyways,
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I have enjoyed my time. I was excited to see kids. We've had ramp up going on the last few days, and some of the leadership kids that were on my interview team were there, and they all were just so excited. I got lots of hugs today when I saw a bunch of them. So I'm just really, really excited to be here.
I guess I was gonna say at our leadership academy, she knew like half the people there already, so
Yeah.
it feels like she's already part of our community. So
It
it's
kind of
good to have her.
happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But Molly, we're glad to have you. So thanks for saying yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Any board member comments this evening? Paula, do you want to kick us off? No?
Hope everybody's having a good summer. It's almost over.
Thanks, Paul. That was. Bill?
I'm seeing the signs up all over, and I did have a question by a graduate of ours. If there was going to be a cadre of students who are going to help people my age and above with the QR codes. So I've disabled her car, and she will not be driving to college in the next couple of days.
That's awesome. Thank you. Kevin?
No, nothing other than I hope everybody's finding a little bit of time to relax, although I know the merry-go-round of a school district never stops. So there's always work to be done even in the summer, and I appreciate everybody putting in all the hard work to get us ready for the school year.
Thanks, Kevin. JB?
All right, I guess I'll be the one who talks a lot. So I had a really great week last week, and I had an opportunity, one, to stop by the leadership lunch that was happening. So our administrators that were all working really hard to get ready for the school year. And there was free food, so I swung by, and I had the opportunity to meet, a lot of our administrators for the first time, and some that I already knew. So that was a really nice experience. Felt very welcomed. And I had the opportunity to sit next to Darla, who is involved with with our early childhood curriculum. And I was really excited to learn that we have an update to our math curriculum coming. And in particular, that we have a TOSA that's coming, who is a national trainer. So I just think when I think about some of our goals and whatnot, and student test scores and things like that. So to have this updated curriculum, to have this national level trainer who's going to be available to bring our teachers up to speed so that they can really deliver this, I thought was a really some great news. So I was excited to hear that. And the lunch also prepared me for a wonderful tour of the school district. And so I was lucky. I spent 2 days with David and with Marina, who walked me through multiple buildings within the school district. We went to, and this was a request that I had of Dr. Dent, because I felt like as a new member of the board, there were buildings I'd never been into. There were parts of the school district that we talk about all the time here that I didn't feel like I had a very good understanding of. I also felt like we're getting ready to run a bond and there are issues, and I wanted to see those things firsthand. So that being said, I went to Sumner High School, phase 1, the new completed phase. I went to the old building. And I also went to the early learning, childhood learning center, and to Daffodil Valley, to the fields there. So, and I will say, first of all, I will never walk into a building the same way again after walking in with David and Marina. They point out and look at things in a whole different way than you and I probably do. But I will say, when I went into phase 1, it was amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. Just environment for students to learn, and just the high level of thought that has gone into everything from the desks to the chairs to accommodate learning and making sure that our students are ready for the future was just amazing. I came from, I've been worked in biotech for a company that's based out of San Francisco. And I tell you, our marketing department there would have been jealous of what they saw here. So we should be really, really proud of the work that's happening. One of the other things that I was most impressed with is not just that we're doing something for now, but we're preparing ourselves for the future. So there was a beautiful window that we commented how beautiful that window is, how big it was. Well, that's so that we can add the next phase and we can just build right through into, a hallway. So it was, those types of forward thinking to save us money in the future was really impressive to see. The other thing, so then the second day, so I had a 2-day tour, and the second day we went to Donald Eisman Elementary, we went to Holly Heights Elementary, and we went to Bonnie Lake High School. So I was able to see those 3 buildings and some of the wonderful work that's going on there. Again, I was so impressed with these beautiful buildings, and then a little bit disappointed to know that they're already so full that we've got students that have to have, their classes in hallways or extra spaces. And I was able to see those and was even more impressed that the teachers and the students make those work, but it's just certainly not ideal. Beautiful libraries that are not functioning as libraries, but instead are functioning as classrooms. So it just really hit home the need that we have to continue to be able to expand and be able to deliver for the kids that are coming to the school district. So I want to thank Marina. I want to thank David for taking the time. I want to thank them for being wonderful stewards of our district and our buildings, because they are a wealth of knowledge. They know all the codes that we walk through, and there are fire codes and health codes, but they're keeping us and our staff and our students safe and learning the best they can. So thank you very much.
Well said. Thank you. All right, at this time, we have audience comments. David, you kick us off. Thank you.
Absolutely. The board recognizes the value of public comments on education issues and the importance of involving members of the public in its meetings. Comments from the public are taken under board advisement and may or may not receive action at a future meeting. Topics including charges or complaints against employees, employment or dismissal of personnel, acquisition of real estate, lawyer-client relationships, campaigning, and parameters for negotiations should not be discussed in audience comment. Other information, questions, or problems can usually be addressed by district staff. The audience comment period will end when all registered speakers have been heard. We ask that everyone adhere and understand the following guidelines. In order to maintain respect for all points of view, the school board requests no clapping, booing, or any other form of support or non-support be used. The board will not respond to comments, but will take them under advisement. Speakers should be courteous and professional. Please refrain from using profanity, vulgar language, threatening, or defamatory comments. As a reminder, individuals are not permitted to name a specific staff member, board member, or student during public comments. Failure to do so may result in the board president or designee interrupting or ending the comment. Only speakers who registered by yesterday at noon will be heard. If you're providing in-person public comment, when your name is called, please come to the podium and state your name. Address comments to the school board as a whole. Individuals have 3 minutes to speak and may not cede or give their time to another speaker. I will signal speakers when 1 minute remains. Our first audience comment tonight is Donna Oraves.
Good evening, school board directors and Superintendent Dent. My name is Donna Oraves. I live at 11911 21st Street East in Edgewood, and I'm a grandparent of 4 grandchildren attending Sumner schools. I am here tonight to thank you for your service and encourage you to be strong and courageous in advocating for our kids and their parents. This will mean sometimes going against what comes at you from many directions, such as the state, the federal government, unions, etc. I also want to thank the many good teachers and administrators in the Sumner School District. I ask you to be strong and courageous in not only using common sense, but also the results of evidence-based research, a lot of it recent, that cites the harm of gender ideology on children K through 12, and actually several years older. Not only is it harmful, but it goes against our state constitution, Section 4, Article 9, that sectarian ideologies are not to be taught. There is controversy around President Biden's rewriting of Title IX, and several states have obtained injunctive relief from a federal court to protect our children, families, and schools. Unfortunately, our state is not one of them. However, as the new school year is fast approaching, I want to remind you that activist teachers and counselors should not be asking children to state their pronouns. Please provide teacher administrative training and consequences to halt this practice. I know that it is hard to admit mistakes and to go backwards in light of all the new evidence, but we must. Thank you for the hard work it will take to provide our children with the best education.
Thank you. That is all of our audience comment for this evening.
Thank you very much. All right, this brings us to business matters. The recommendation is that the board authorize the disposal of the bulk mail account with the United States Postal Service and return of funds in the amount of $5,749.10 to the general fund of the district. Do I have a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Sure.
I was kind of shocked to see this. I'm sure somebody can answer it real easy, but going forward, does this just mean everything's going to be sent via email, or are we not going to utilize postage in a way that we would require a bulk mail account?
So far, we've been not doing bulk mail for 2 years, so the account's just hanging in there. So might as well close it because there's no use and the money is there. Just kind of close the account and put it back.
Well, thanks. That we haven't used it in 2 years. That's kind of, thank you.
Thanks, Bang. Any further discussion? All right, the recommendation has been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right, at this time, we have a budget adoption presentation. Welcome, Bang. Nice to see you.
Good to see you and thank you. I would like to put it there. Good evening, Board of Director and Superintendent. Tonight, I am presenting to you the final version of the 2024-25 budget for adoption. If you recall last month, we had the public hearing and we went over the preliminary budget in depth. Today, I'm going to go very quick in a very high level summary. Of course, we always thank you to those people who involved into the budget development process. This is the agenda. Again, I will be quick and we'll just touch each funds in a very high level. So we talk about that when we prepare budget, we always follow the strategic plan, our promise to know, value, and support every student. And that's what we follow, that guideline, and align our budget with those strategic plan. So here's the transportation fund. The yellow I highlighted because you adopt that 24-25 budget. Although we are required to prepare 4 years budget, but we only adopt the next year's budget. And so as that ASB fund, you look at ASB, we're very strong ASB fund and have the very strong fund balance, almost $1 million. And that's very strong, mostly in those 2 high schools. That service fund is the fund that we pay off the bond. This coming year, we are going to pay off that. I don't know if you remember, whoever's here, long time. We had the QSAP that we call it non-vote bond. That was in 2020. No, it's 2009. Long times ago. At the time, it was financial crisis in the country. So that is that close gap to rescale school district. Some districts have it, some districts do not want it. So anyway, we're going to pay off 17.5 million there. And you will see the bond rate will go down because you keep paying off gradually. And this is capital project fund. So far, we don't have much of the money there, but we have plenty of projects that we need to take care of. And we did transfer some money from general fund to do that as well. So general fund. General fund, I think we talked about that. The income, 193 million. The expense, 200 million. And we transfer our 5 million to capital project with your resolution approval. Then we end up this following year, 20 million in fund balance. That's all projected or budgeted. So this is our 4 years projected enrollment. Now, you see this time, last time we kind of missing that line. I don't know why, but this time, full-time equivalent, FTE. Every time I present enrollment is FTE. Every time Lori present enrollment is headcount. Yeah, because this is all for funding. That's why I use FTE. And where's the money come from? Majority of our funding coming from state apportionment, which is based on our enrollment. And the second largest is the levy. Also, this district using enrollment-based calculation. So if your enrollments grow, you get more money. If your enrollments down, you get less money. Where's the money go? Majority of the money is for personnel items. This coming years will be 84%. We do have a lot of contractual services. And some of them coming from lack of employee hiring. So we have to use contract teacher, contracted, a lot of special ed, para, specialists, and also maintenance too, like HVACs, and we have some contract because we cannot find people there. And this is a fund balance. To the end of 24-25, we're going to end up about 10% of total fund balance. It go down from where we were, it will go down. So we just, again, we talked about it last month that we will be watching, and position control is still in place. Unless we hire all of them, if we're not hiring all of them, we still have some fund balance to carry on. And that's it was. And we do have a booklet that we share with you. So this booklet is for community. We condense everything in one little book that you share with community, and you can use the QR code in our slides that you can go in and look at that as well. So superintendent's address, our budget process, and any message that to the community is in the first page. And then also talk about our promise, right? And then we introduce the board and the administrators. Then we talk a little bit about very general basic budgeting. And then we introduced our enrollment projection. Then we provide some data for our staffing in the upper part, and then squeeze in the bond and the levy raise there for people to see it. So again, it's a very small, tiny booklet, but it have a lot of information that is very valuable, but it's in very general, high-level summary as well. And that is what the money come from, is identical to what we just talked about. And so as the next page, that is where's the money go? And we also show that where's the money, how much the money we pay that impact the classroom. So we want people to see it, that how much we invest in our classroom. Then we continue talking about other funds like capital project, the debt service, ASB fund, and transportation fund. So it's everything's in very high level and compact in one little small book, but it's very informative book. So I hope you enjoy that. Any question?
Questions?
So there's a QR code, people can use it and get into that booklets. Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's try that. Very a lot that are involved in this process, and you've really done a great job, I feel, of bringing us along all the way through in that.
Thank you.
Last comment is stick with the FTE. I lived through people who did head count.
Stick with that.
It gets nasty.
Yeah, we always use FTE project. staffing instead of user headcount. And when I teach the class in, for WASPO for budgeting, and some people did use headcount project FTE. That kind of scary though, you know, because in the high school, it could be way more teachers or paras and more staff because the headcount. But we do stick with, listen to Bill. We stick with FTE.
Thanks, Bang.
Any other question?
Not really a question, but more of a comment and appreciation for when I was looking at the graph of FTE. I appreciate that going into the current year that you're projecting a conservative amount because that's what you're budgeting off of. You don't want to project a very high amount
Yeah.
and think you're going to have that revenue and then don't have it. So
Right.
I appreciate that you're being conservative with that number, as well as you look out to the future, being a little less conservative so that we can plan our buildings and our bonds and those sorts of things towards the worst case scenario of volume,
Right.
but not necessarily our revenue. And as you come up on the current year, I appreciate that you're focused on the revenue. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
All right.
Thank you,
Thank
Bang.
you.
All right. Next up, recommendation. The district administration recommends that the board adopt the 2024-2025 budget, the four-year budget plan summary and enrollment projections. Do I have a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Also for information only is the budget status report included in your packet. All right, so I've been practicing for years and I never get this, the order of these letters. So just bear with me as I stumble through this, this one. All right. The district administration recommends the board adopt the IUOE Maintenance and Diesel Technicians Collective Bargaining Agreement for September 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2027. Do I have a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to say, thank you to this group for all the hard work that they do to keep this district functioning from a mechanical standpoint and all the other things that go into making it work. And I appreciate the staff that worked on the contract with them and found mutual ground to get this agreement in place. I just really appreciate that both teams were working towards a positive goal. And we want to help everybody rise up to be in the best place they can be in the area. So thank you to everybody.
Any further discussion? All right, the recommendation has been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, recommendation passes. All right. Under board policies, the district administration recommends the board adopt the following district policies in accordance with policy 1310. Policies include 3231 student records, 5260 personnel records, and 6501 data privacy. Do I have a motion to approve this recommendation?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'll just chime in a little bit because, we've got the Title IX ones on here that were added as amendments because we have a deadline to meet. And we've also, people are saying it's controversial. Most of the controversy is at the the university level, not necessarily at the elementary and secondary level. And if you go through the changes that were done, had to do mostly with some of the language. They just called it sex discrimination now instead of sexual harassment or sexual discrimination. And it had to do with investigations and grievance procedures for victims. And also trying to make sure that the people that are accused have their due process as well. So hopefully the board feels comfortable and we can move forward, but that's it.
Thank you. And that was for the information only for the first reading.
Yeah, thank you.
We already took action on the other ones, or were we in the middle? Was that board discussion? Okay, all right. So we have the recommendation seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. All right. And again, those, we have a list of first readings for, policies 3205, 3206, 4040, 5005, 5011, 5013, 6810, as well as the corresponding board procedures, again, for information only for first reading. Also for your information in your packet, the district's annual application for state basic education allocation funds were submitted to OSPI, and the report was submitted and linked. This leads us to board discussion. Does anyone have anything for discussion this evening? No? Must be August.
Well, just, I will say thanks for clarifying that and the changes were in the procedure. We didn't do anything on the policy for that title except, I know we did. We changed the title of it and, changed the verbiage, but, nothing of major consequence. Most of it was in the procedures, which get read tonight. And then if there's no objection, they pretty much go into place. So, but that's what the changes were, had to do with investigations.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for your work on the policy committee too, to work through all of these before they come to us. Any other discussion? All right. All right then. Next regular board meeting, September 18th, begins right here in the central office boardroom at 6 p.m. See you there. Meeting adjourned.